Hello. Today is January 15, 2026. Hope you are doing well. So, today we're going to talk about freedom versus fear because you can't have both. And as much as we love to jibber jabber about freedom, guess what? Talk is cheap. It makes us feel better to talk about it instead of actually take the bull by the horns and do it and be it. All right? Of course, the bag. This idea of freedom we've talked about a few times here. And, everybody is like, yeah, give me some. Give me some. You can't have some. This is winner takes all. You can't have a little bit of freedom and have it all mixed in with a little bit of fear and, well, I'm mostly free except for no. It's like you can't be a little bit pregnant, right? But it's funny. It's not easy to come by, but then it is once you understand the mechanics of the thing. When you look behind the curtain and say, oh my gosh, this old buzzard sitting back here pulling levers and pushing buttons. This isn't a wizard. It's just a dude. An old goofy ass dude pretending. And once you see, that's the thing. Because listen, you cannot say, okay, I want to live without fear. So let me go ahead and get rid of the fear. You can't get rid of the fear like that. Like coming in like a firefighter with a fire extinguisher. Like, shh. All right, the fear is all gone. Doesn't work that way. However, we are reminded of something that Jiddu Krishnamurti said, and it's really true, that seeing the reality of what's really happening, that's what does the work. See, so in other words, we've all been, and many of us still are in this game. We're going to call it a game, not ha-ha game, but game. Let's just call it that for now. We'll revisit that expression later. We're part of this game here, but we don't know, and the lights are off. All the lights are off, okay? Because we're not aware. We can't see it, right? We can't see what is, like he said. Seeing what is the thing that's going to solve it for you. And so we're stumbling around, bumping into walls, falling over chairs, hurting ourselves, emphasis on ourselves, until something in us says, you know what? I feel like it shouldn't be like this. Why is life so hard? Why do I keep going around and around in the same loop and dealing with the same shit that I dealt with 5, 10, 20 years ago? Why? And you get fed up. And once something in us just says, screw it. I need to see. I need to understand. I know this is going to be really hard for me to face some of this shit. I don't want to. But again, something in us is just like, you don't have any choice now. You realize now you're stumbling around in the dark. And you're just going to keep stumbling around in the dark until you make a change. And that's the other thing, weird. Stumbling and fumbling and mumbling around, blaming the chair, blaming the wall. It's like, But when we say, okay, you know what, it's time for me to take some responsibility in this thing. It's not the people, it's not the this and that and the other thing, it's me. And not like it's me, my fault. I'm the one experiencing this. So I'm the one that needs to take responsibility, step up, figure out what the hell is going on, and do something. Or at least see what's going on. We're not even doing something yet. I just want, show me. Universe, God, source, whatever you are, I'm ready. You don't say it consciously, but that's every cell in your body says it. Then we can deal with the fear. Because because all the stumbling around is because of the fear. Because of not wanting to see. And we didn't want to see because of the fear, right? You see how it makes sense? But once we say, you know what? I'm going to feel around on this wall, and there's going to be a light switch somewhere. And I'm going to flick that mother on. And when we do it, oh, wow. That's what's going on. Okay. Let me regroup. Now I need to rearrange a few of the ideas I had floating around in my head. All this guesswork. Isn't that really it? Think about it. All the billions of people on the planet and all the different ideas about the really real questions about life and the world, right? How many ideas are there floating around out there? And we're not even talking about individuals that don't belong to a tradition or a religion or whatever. But throw them in too. There's a lot of ideas, and yet where are we? You see? And so we come to a place, and it's just like, you know what? I can't look to those things anymore. Not because they're bad, necessarily, but because they haven't provided the truth. I want the truth. And those are actually the sentiments that start to kind of reverberate within us when we've had enough. I want the truth. Okay? I've been trying to get by on what I want to be true, what I hope to be true, what everybody else around me is saying is true. But apparently none of it's true. And I got to discard all of that shit. It's holding me back. It's holding me down. It's making me suffer. It's making the people around me suffer. And nobody's promised tomorrow. I'm not promised tomorrow. So I need to get on with this. I'm saying you flip that switch on, and then you realize, okay, your ankles and your arms and your neck and your whole body has been chained down. And you haven't been free. The chains are fear. And you've existed in just, some of these traps that are made, the way they're designed, the more you move around, the tighter the trap gets, right? And that's what happens to us. We're just running here and there. This must have the answer. That must be the answer. You're doing all this weird mind acrobatics and mental acrobatics, trying to paste things together so that we can just get through this. And all the while, the trap is getting tighter and tighter on us. And that is when a person finally says, I can't do this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. Either something has to change or I'm out of here. I cannot do this one more day. I don't want to do this anymore. I want the truth. But you got to get there. They say the darkest hour is just before dawn, right? Or the other one that they talk about with people who have addictions, like you got to get to rock bottom. And all your friends and all your family and your sponsors and your preacher and this and that and the other therapist, it's not going to do the thing until you reach rock bottom. Within your own being, say, I've had it. I've had it. I can't do this anymore. And yeah. So anyway, those are just some thoughts we were having about freedom versus fear. And the next installment, we'll talk about freedom now. Not now, then. Um, and we'll just dissect it a little bit more because we didn't really give. Actually, back up. Instead of starting out with that, maybe we'll just talk about these things a little bit more in a more practical way, in the ways that fear has gripped us. Even you got people walking around talking about, I'm free. I got my own thoughts. Nobody's telling me. And they don't know. They got so many chains just tugging at them, right? Not tight enough yet, but still. And so we'll talk about how that is manifest in this place, what that looks like. And then we'll talk about the freedom, the freedom, the liberation from it. But anyway, so hopefully this has been informative or encouraging to someone out there. As always, we want to wish you so much love. Bye-bye.